Hey, Leroy, turn it on. Okay, Uncle Shady.
You're listening to BWWR, the Banger Worldwide Radio Network.
The John Lebang Show has been known to make people laugh, sing, think, scream, throw things in rage, and generally lose their minds. Listener discretion is advised.
Scheduled programming to bring you a show on the edge. Broadcasting worldwide and out to the greater universe, you're listening to the John Lebang Show.
Greetings, Earthlings, and alert the media. I'm John Lebang, and welcome to my show. Hello, my friends. Welcome to another week of Sonic Vibrations right here on the Radio Revolution John Lebang Show. We got a vast array of subjects headed your way. In the second hour, we have a guest. His name is Mike Peter. He's the manager of IRN Radio in Tampa, Florida. We're going to bring him in, probably talk about internet radio, talk about Star Trek. We're going to probably even talk about the president. I don't know what we'll talk about. We'll get to that in the second hour. Here in the first hour, we're going to talk about the new report that came out of the government. Pretty much showing James Comey was playing some manipulative games in the investigation of Hillary Clinton. And we'll get to that at some point. We're also going to talk about the 50 worst cities to live in the United States, which should be interesting. Hopefully you're not living in one of those top 50 cities. I can't say I'm not. And we'll touch on a bunch of other news that are making the headlines. Before we get to that, though, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to go over our upcoming summer schedule, just in case you missed it last week. We're heading into our summer schedule here on the John Lebang Show, and what that means is we're going to have some summer vacation time for the banger because he works hard all year, ladies and gentlemen. And not to sound narcissistic, because anytime somebody talks about themselves, the butthurt people say, oh, that person's being narcissistic. Oh, like promoting yourself and talking about what you do and what you're happy about doing is narcissistic. No, I don't think so. It's called promoting yourself, telling people what's going on so they know what's happening. But you know, the butt hurters out there, there's a lot of them. They can't handle that because they've got nothing going on. It's always the people that have nothing going on that get butt hurt about the people that have things going on. And they get mad because you're not including them. And then when they get mad at you for it, well, you go, well, guess what? You're not included because either you didn't want to be included or you're just not worthy of being on what we're doing, being part of what's happening. Maybe you're a negative Nelly, because there are a lot of those out there. And the ones that hate narcissists, you know, there's a balance there. It's like, you know, there's a slight difference between genius and insanity. It's the same way. There's a fine line between narcissism and promoting yourself. You're allowed to promote yourself, ladies and gentlemen, so that's what we're going to do right here. Our summer scheduling goes as follows. Next week, we're going to give you 2 brand new episodes, including a special report on Milton William Cooper. The week after that, we're going to have Derek Shelmerdine coming in to talk about a little bit of rock and roll unraveled, maybe the best 50 albums of all time. I think that's what's on the agenda. We're also going to have, in hour number 2, Bangerverse Volume 1. Yes, we're going back into the archives, ladies and gentlemen, because we'll be heading into the 4th of July week, and we want to give you special broadcasting, and we want to take a little time for ourselves. The week after the 4th, we'll be giving you a special broadcast of The Invaders from Alien X Part 1 and 2, and that'll take place in both the first and second hour. The following week in episode 296, that'll be a brand new episode, and that'll be in the first hour. In hour number 2, you'll be experiencing a hell of a shady experience. If you haven't caught that one before, it's worth tuning into. And if you have listened to it before, you know you're going to listen in again because, man, that's a funny special. The following week in the first hour will be episode 297. We'll be having a normal episode, brand new stuff, talking about whatever subjects are on the to-do list. In hour number 2, you'll be getting Bangerverse Volume 2. The following week, we're going to have Derek Shelmerdine in for episode 298, more rock and roll unraveled for you. And in the second hour, we're going to have Captain Rainbow Civil War. Just want to make sure that everybody understands that these next 2 rock and roll unravels with Derek Shelmerdine will happen in the first hour and not in the normal second hour. So please make a note of that. Our first episode in the first hour of August will be episode 299. That will be our final broadcast of the season. After that, we go on a little bit of summer vacation, but that doesn't mean the John Lebang Show won't be on, because in the second hour, you're going to get Bangerverse Volume 3. The following week, you're going to get Destiny Wars Part 1 and Part 2. See, when we go on vacation, ladies and gentlemen, when we take a small break to recharge our batteries, to redo the studio, which is something we're going to do again. We're always redoing the studio because we got to get it better and better and better, ladies and gentlemen. But when we do take these small vacations, we don't just play a rerun of a best of. No, we give you the best of the best John Lebang stuff, and that's the Bangerverse stuff. So you'll be getting all the specials, all the intense broadcasts, all the great comedies that we have produced over the years during that time period. The following week after the Destiny Wars will be Bangerverse Volume 4 and 5, and that'll transpire in the first and second hour. The following week after that, you're going to get Shady and the Mystery Freaks in the first hour, and then Bangerverse 6 in the second hour. The following week, which is getting close to the end of August, will be a replay of the magnificent Virtual Infinity. And then when we return in September, which will be the following week, we'll be back for the second hour. But in the first hour, you're going to get Bangerverse 7, which you haven't heard yet. You may have heard little bits and pieces throughout all the broadcasts, but it will come together in one magnificent hour of special broadcasting. So that's it. And when we do return in September, that first week of September, it'll be our 300th broadcast. And we're going to have special guests that evening. I know Jonathan Rios of 920 WON The Apple will be joining us, as will a bunch of other guests that we're going to book in. We may even have special artists in studio. We don't know yet. We're trying to get things all ready, but that's all the way in September, and we're still in June, and we've got a bunch of things to cover. We're going to go over the FBI investigation. I should say the investigation into the FBI and James Comey. In the second segment, we might have to go into the third segment because there's a lot to discuss there. There's a whole lot to discuss there. Like I said, we're going to be talking about the 50 worst places to live in the United States. And it's interesting what city and states made the top 10, and we'll get into that at some point. But since we have a little time, I thought we'd go out to your phone calls because we know you have something to say. So dial us up on that secret banger hotline. You can get that on the website, www.jlebang.com. And if you don't go to that banger website, you're not going to find out all the latest information on what's going on with the John Lebang Show. Going out to Pepper in Chicago.
Oh, honey, I can't hear you on the radio anymore.
Well, Pepper, we're looking for an affiliate out in Chicago right now.
That's good, babies. Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
That ditch is stupid, you know. She talking about my cottage cheese. Well, I tell you what, babies, I'd rather be playing with real cottage cheese than those silicone fat lips she got. She be so ugly, and no baby daddies be wanting her.
Okay, Pepper, thanks for your call. Up next is Shady, calling from Detroit.
Jones.
Shady.
Listen here, John. I got a question for you.
What's that, Shady?
Do you know a good pizza place around here?
Well, there's that Muhammad shop down the street.
No, they don't have pepperoni, John. John, do you believe Hillary Clinton was mocking James Comey?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. I actually replied to her tweet.
It's like criminal on criminal tweeting, John.
Hey, I know, Shady. I mean, Hillary's got nothing to say in this. Now that we know Comey was doing what he was doing, she's going to get reinvestigated.
This time when she falls on her face, there ain't going to be a call to save her.
All right, Shady, thanks for your call. Our next call going out to Canada. Gordy, you're on the John Lebang Show.
How come you're not in Canada, eh?
I don't know. Most of the Canadian stations that I've contacted have been real snobby with me.
Oh, we're not snobby, eh?
Listen, like I've said before, I have Canadian relatives. I know exactly how Canadians act.
Oh, we're nice people, eh?
Whatever you say. Thanks for your call. Going out to Boston, Massachusetts, Carrie. Welcome back to the show. Okay, well, thanks for your call. Just let me fill you in on what has happened just in this past week. We were picked up by 3 new stations, one in Germany, RCFM. We were picked up in Georgia on Rockin' Waves 11294. And we were picked up in Boston on GAG 109 FM. So if you have a Facebook page and you want to like those pages, go to our page on Facebook and look them up and like their page because they need our support because we're growing as a family. Our affiliate stations are now in 5 countries. We cover almost all the major markets inside the United States. We're in Florida, we're in New York, we're in California, we're in Seattle, Detroit. We're everywhere. You can find us in Connecticut, Maine, Florida, which happens to be our most popular area, believe it or not. I'm going to have to visit down there one day, go down to Florida and see all the people that are writing into the show and all the bands that have been sending in their music from Florida. I'm going to have to go down there and visit these people because they're off the charts great, including, our biggest affiliate down there, Bubba Army Radio. Want to give them a big shout out because, without them, we wouldn't be getting the huge, giant numbers we are getting. We're also on IRN Radio, which we're going to meet Mike Peter in the second hour and talk to him about whatever. We might even talk Rush and music. I don't know what we're going to talk about. It's going to be some random talk radio, I'm sure. Because knowing Mike, he's a lot like me. We start somewhere, and then we go off the rails, and we drive around a while, and then we finally make our way back to what we were talking about. But on the way, we took the scenic route. We're also on Rat Pack Radio down there and Tampa Bay FM. They've been really great themselves because they've been promoting the living crap out of us. So thanks to everybody down there in Florida. We could sit here and give shout outs to just about every station that we are a part of because they're all great and we seem to be growing all together, which is what it's all about in this new medium of internet radio and podcasting. And since it's all kind of put together because the mainstreamers don't like the idea of podcast and internet radio taking over their control of everybody's ears. But we're coming, baby. We're coming. The radio revolution is on the way, being led by yours truly. We got to take our first time out, ladies and gentlemen. We're right up against the break. But when we return, we're going to talk about that report about James Comey and the FBI right after this. Don't go anywhere now.
John will be right back right after this.
Yes, he will. Check out the new book from Derek Shelmerdine,
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It tells the story of rock and roll from its roots right up until the mid-70s punk.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Not just the music, but also the events that shaped the music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It includes the backgrounds to recording sessions, singles, album releases, births and deaths, epic concerts, and festivals.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Shelmerdine has made a painstaking effort to document pretty much every event that would prove significant in shaping popular music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Purchase the book at www.rockandrollunraveled.com. Follow him at Twitter at R&R Unraveled and look him up on Facebook at Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
By author Derek Shelmerdine.
Available now.
Hey, man, you're listening to the John Lebang Show, man. The place where chronic brain cell rejuvenation happens. You feel like you're getting any smarter yet? Yes. This is a breaking news alert. The summit in Singapore. Let's head over to Wilbert, our correspondent in Singapore.
Thanks, John. We're just moments away from the president and the leader of North Korea meeting face to face for the very first time. Here they come.
Hey, Kim. Nice to meet you finally. Thank you for meeting me, Most Honorable Donald. How was the trip? It was a beautiful limousine. Thank you. May I say your hair looks exceptionally blonde today. Thanks a lot, Kim. I was going to compliment you on your haircut, too. Who's your barber? It's one of Dennis Rodman's friends. Oh, I talked to him earlier. He was bawling his eyes out. Well, shall we begin? First, we gotta take pictures. Suck in the gut a little. I'll do my best, Most Honorable Donald. Remember, this is huge. How's this for a smile? Oh, it looks like you're happy. Like big league happy. You ready? Yes, I am.
Mr. President, what are you going to talk about?
That's classified. Thanks for the questions. We're gonna go inside now. Stormy's waiting for us.
Well, there they go, John. The president and the leader of North Korea in a historic summit right here in Singapore. This is Wilbert Hillbilly. We now return you to your regular scheduled programming. You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's a hell of a good time, isn't it? All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for staying tuned in to the John Lebang Show. Well, we had the Office of the Inspector General put out a report called a review of various actions by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Department of Justice in advance of the 2016 election. And this thing is a shocker. I mean, a lot of us who were paying attention are not exactly surprised at the information that was gleaned from this report. But when you get deep into this 568-page report, you start realizing that it wasn't just a few agents involved. It wasn't just James Comey, but it was a systemic problem throughout the upper echelons of the FBI. Just some of the early reports are incredible. And when I was reading through it, and of course I haven't gotten through the entire report because it's too huge. And by the time it came out late in the week again, by the way, so there's going to be very little reporting. I love how that happens with government reports or government news that needs to be suppressed in some way. They just release it late in the week and call it a day. Hey, we'll have a short weekend of news. Nobody will pay attention, and it'll skip on by, and the mainstream watchers and listeners of the news will overlook it, miss it, maybe just forget about it because, hey, it's Father's Day weekend, folks, and happy Father's Day to my father and all the other fathers out there. It's Father's Day weekend, and they're going to be too busy to care about this report. But we're not going to let it go down without a fight, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people are talking of the certain particulars of this, and I want to get into some of these chats, some of these emails, some of these conversations that happen via electronic means. And the interesting thing about the whole thing is that they don't want to name names. They call everybody Agent 1, Agent 2, FBI employee. I don't know what they're trying to protect with all this. Maybe they're trying to protect who told on who were the good people, and we don't want the good people being exposed. I don't know for certain. I'm sure it'll be deemed some kind of national security that these poor people, these Agent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 employee of the FBI, whatever number it is, are protected. So on July 6th, we're going to start here, folks. The day after Comey's midterm declaration announcement, Agent 1, the infamous Agent 1, and an FBI employee not involved with the mid-year exchange messages about the investigation. During the course of this discussion, ladies and gentlemen, Agent 1 described the prior weekend activities, which included the interview with Hillary Clinton. Agent 1, I'm done interviewing the president. FBI employee, you interviewed the president? Question mark. Agent 1, HRC. Mind you, this is before the election, ladies and gentlemen. So Hillary, who never won the presidency, by the way, was being called the president by an FBI agent. Agent 1 again, future press. Agent 1 says again, Trump can't win. I wonder how they know this. Agent 1 again, because FBI employee probably didn't want to say anything because they were freaked out on their end. You want to bet? Agent 1 again says, demographics don't line up. I wonder, is that a racist remark, I wonder? We talk about all the racism out there, ladies and gentlemen. Is a person looking at demographics on a future election not a little racist? We continue because Agent 1 wasn't done saying anything. They say America has changed. In the IG report then indicates that officials from the IG's office asked the FBI agent if he thought he had dealt with Clinton differently because he was convinced she would be the president. When asked Agent 1 if he thought of Clinton as the next president while conducting the mid-year investigation, Agent 1 stated, I think my impression going into the election in that personal realm is that all of the polls were favoring Hillary Clinton. The IG then asked Agent 1 if he treated Clinton differently because of that assumption. Agent 1 stated, absolutely not. But on August 29th and September 9th, 2016, according to the IG report, Agent 1 and the woman he would marry, Agent 5, engaged in an instant message exchange in which they expressed their mutual contempt for Donald Trump. Here is verbatim of how the IG report presented that. Agent 1, I find anyone who enjoys this job an absolute effing idiot. If you don't think so, ask them one more question. Who are you voting for? I'll guarantee you it will be Donald Trump. Agent 5, I forgot about Trump. Agent 5, that's so sad and pathetic if they want to vote for him. Agent 5 again, someone who can't answer a question. Agent 5, someone who can't be professional for even a second. Now on September 9th, 2016, Agent 1 and Agent 5 exchanged the following instant messages. Agent 5, I'm trying to think of, quote, would I rather instead of spending time with those people? Agent 5, stick your tongue in a fan? The idea there is, I would rather stick my tongue in a fan than hang out with those people. Agent 5 said, I would rather have brunch with Trump. Agent 1, ha! Agent 1, French toast with Trump. So Agent 1 doesn't like Trump for sure. Agent 5 doesn't like Trump, but doesn't make as much fun of Trump as Agent 1. And they're investigating Hillary Clinton. They don't like Trump at all. They don't like Trump at all. Agent 5, I would rather have brunch with Trump and a bunch of his supporters like the ones from Ohio that are retarded. Not my words, folks. That's Agent 5. We don't know who Agent 5 is, but it's Agent 5. Agent 5 later explained to the IG that she was not attempting to make specific criticism of people from Ohio in saying this, and here is how the IG reported her explanation. These instant messages reference TV programming and commentary that Agent 1 and Agent 5 had recently viewed together because they're going to get married. They have the same views about the future president. So they don't like Trump. So, they're probably voting for Hillary. They're investigating Hillary. Agent 5 continued. This is now the IG report verbatim. The reference was not a general statement about a particular part of the country. Rather, it was in jest and pertinent to individuals' inability to articulate any reason why they so strongly favored one candidate over another. Of course, they didn't talk to him. They saw a video. And, of course, the mainstream media, when they were trying to destroy Trump in the election, they were also putting up the dumbest of dumb supporters of Trump. They weren't putting the articulate supporters of Trump up there because that wouldn't put across the agenda that they were trying to put across. Now, on October 28th, less than 2 weeks before the election, FBI Director James Comey informed Congress that the FBI had reopened the Clinton email investigation because emails from Clinton's server had been discovered on a laptop belonging to Anthony Weiner, the former congressman who was married to Clinton and aide Huma Abedin. As reported here on the John Lebang Show way back when, longtime listeners of the John Lebang Show will know that we were a little bit ahead of the time. Is that narcissistic to say that? How about I say the alternative media was ahead of the game on that one? That way you don't think John Lebang is narcissistic because he's just talking about what he did. That's, you don't want to do that. So we'll say the alternative media was ahead of the curve on that one. They were reporting it. That includes everybody, down the line that the mainstream manufactured news tries to discredit at every turn, including yours truly. Can I say yours truly? Is that narcissistic? Yours truly? I don't know. Please let us know in the chat room if it's narcissistic of me to say yours truly. Got to worry about offending everybody because that's a big deal. Now, Comey sent the first letter to Congress about the Weiner laptop discovery on October 28, 2016. Agent 1 and Agent 5 exchanged instant messages about the letter and Trump's reaction to it later that day. Agent 5, Jesus Christ, Trump. Glad FBI is fixing horrible mistakes on Clinton emails for F's sake. Agent 5 again. The F's sake part was me. Agent 1, not sure if Trump or the fifth floor is worse. Agent 5, I'm sick of both. Agent 5, fifth floor. Agent 5, FBI. She's working at the FBI. She's sick of the FBI. She's sick of the fifth floor. She hates Trump, and she's investigating Hillary Clinton. Yeah. But they didn't treat Hillary different, even though they were calling her Mrs. President. Right. Okay. The IG then reported how Agent 1 and 5 responded when asked about this exchange. Agent 1 described it as some personal comment. Here it is verbatim. We asked both Agent 1 and Agent 5 about these messages. Agent 1 and Agent 5 both stated the reference to fifth floor referred to the location of the FBI's WFO Counterintelligence Division. Agent 1 continued, again, I think a general theme in a lot of this is some personal comment or, complaining about common topics and leadership and venting. Agent 5 also described this as general complaining to Agent 1 and also as an example of her being very tired of working these types of cases. Agent 5 also noted that she was not involved in the review of the Anthony Weiner laptop. Isn't that interesting, folks? We have so much more. Because now we're going to get into Comey when we get back from the break. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to get into Comey a little bit. right after this. Stay tuned. Don't move a muscle.
John Lebang Show, right back.
With lots of fun and excitement. Yes. CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services. Their billers and managers are all dedicated to working for you to increase your profits. For more information, call CRRM at 248-579-3805. CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
If you want to contact the John Lebang Show, feel free to send an email to jlebang@live.com. And if you're on Twitter, look him up at John Lebang. And don't forget to go to his Facebook page at The John Lebang Show. Now here's John.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into James Comey and his part in the Office of the Inspector General's report. Now, according to the report, this is what it says verbatim. Comey's initial draft statement, which he shared with FBI senior leadership on May 2nd, criticized Clinton's handling of classified information as grossly negligent, but concluded that no reasonable prosecutor would bring a case based on facts developed in the mid-year investigation. Over the course of the next 2 months, Comey drafted statements, underwent various language changes, including the following. The discretion of Clinton's handling of classified information was changed from grossly negligent to extremely careless. A statement that the sheer volume of information classified as secret supported an inference of gross negligence was removed and replaced with the statement that was classified information they discovered was especially concerning because of all these emails were housed on servers not supported by full-time staff. A statement that the FBI assessed that it was reasonably likely that hostile actors gained access to Clinton's private email server was changed to possible. The statement also acknowledged that the FBI investigation and its forensic analysts did not find evidence that Clinton email server systems were compromised, and a paragraph summarizing the factors that led to the FBI to access that it was possible that hostile actors assessed Clinton's server was added, and at one point referenced Clinton's use of her private email in an exchange with then-President Obama while in the territory of a foreign adversary. This reference later was changed to another senior government official and ultimately was omitted. So you see, just in these few paragraphs, and we're on page 5, ladies and gentlemen. This is page 5. We could never do a full enough review of this document on one show. We'd have to do multiple shows to cover all this. But what we're seeing clearly, is Comey is lying, he's concealing, he's delaying, he's manipulating, he's obstructing, he's omitting, he's refining, he's twisting, and he's deceiving people, whether it be inside the FBI, people inside the Justice Department, Congress, or the American people. Comey was playing word games that would benefit Hillary Clinton. Then we find out other FBI officials were bad-mouthing Trump in private messages when they interview Hillary Clinton over this whole email fiasco where you digitally bleach out your hard drive. We have somebody smashing up your hard drive, pulling out SIM cards out of phones, hiding information, deleting emails. And you have FBI agents addressing her as Miss President or Mrs. President or as the president months before the election, months before she would even become president if she won, which she didn't. The FBI knew all this information. James Comey was playing word games when he was being grilled in front of the committees there. He would parse his words. He would bounce around the subject. He would answer very politically correct, avoiding any direct answer. You want to continue? You want to continue on this, ladies and gentlemen? Because we got people, I did a tweet the other day, and we have people defending Hillary Clinton and all this, jumping over the fact that, oh, well, James Comey and Hillary Clinton should both go to jail, and these people don't think either one should go to jail. Comey, just in a few things that I've read here, we already know he's manipulating, playing games. If that's not illegal, if reporting something wrong, if softening up the wording on an investigation isn't criminal, then we need to rethink our laws here. Because I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, if we would have done anything Hillary Clinton had done, and the FBI investigated us, they wouldn't change the wording to benefit us. They wouldn't go soft on us. They sure as hell wouldn't address us as Mr. and Mrs. whatever. They'd be looking to indict us and send us to jail. Yet, hey, Hillary Clinton, no big deal. She's going to be president. How can we send the future president to jail? How can we have an investigation that's truthful and honest and thorough, with honest verbiage, when she's going to be future president? We can't do that. We can't have Donald Trump as president. He's horrible. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's not professional. The fifth floor, we hate the fifth floor. Now let's go a little further, because Comey made a decision not to tell the department leadership. Comey himself acknowledged that he had a conscious decision not to tell department leadership about his plans to make a separate statement because he was concerned that they would instruct him not to do so. He also acknowledged that he made this decision when he first conceived of the idea to do the statement, even as he continued to engage the department in discussions about the end game for the investigation. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, that is verbatim from the IG's report. Those are not my words. Continuing, Comey admitted that he had concealed his intentions from the department until the morning of his press conference on July 5th. At least it wasn't a Friday. We got to give him credit for that. As we continue, in morning of his press conference on July 5th, he instructed his staff to do the same, to make it impractical for department leadership to prevent him from delivering his statement. Extraordinary and insubordinate act for Comey to do. And we found none of his reasons to be a persuasive basis for deviating from well-established department policies in a way intentionally designed to avoid supervision by department leaderships over his actions. Oh, now if we would do that at work, we would probably be fired, right? We would probably be fired. It took him another, 7-8 months to get fired after the election, and then finally Trump fires him. I forgot when, February or whatever. Finally he fires him, even though he's doing fireable actions. And any one of you or me or anybody out there, we would get fired at our jobs for that. Now, in the morning of July 5th, 2016, Comey contradicted Lynch and Yates about his plans to make a public statement, but did so only after the FBI had noticed the press. In fact, the department first learned about Comey's press conference from a media inquiry. Rather from the FBI. When Comey did not call Lynch that morning, he told her that he was not going to inform her about the substance of his planned press statement. That was probably to give her plausible deniability. And I would bet they agreed to that at some point. And he's just covering tracks. Of course, that's me speculating, right? Comey's dirty. I think he just continued to be dirty. And we know Loretta Lynch met Bill Clinton on an airport runway to discuss whatever. I don't know what they discussed. It was private. Now, while Lynch asked Comey what the subject matter of the statement was going to be, Comey told her in response it would be about the mid-year investigation. Now watch this. To confirm my theory, she did not ask him to tell her what he intended to say about the mid-year investigation. Now here you are, the head of the Justice Department. You have an FBI guy having a press conference without any of the leadership knowing about it, without anybody knowing about it. And when you talk to him about it, he's just, well, it's about the investigation, ma'am. Oh, okay, go right ahead. Don't tell me anymore. I don't want to know anymore. The AG found that Lynch, having decided not to recuse herself, retained authority over both the final prosecution decision and the department management of the mid-year investigation, such as the IG believes she should have had instructed Comey to tell her what he intended to say beforehand and should have discussed it with Comey. Again, there's some shenanigans going on here, folks. Shenanigans going on, and we're on page 7 now, folks. We've only gone a couple pages in. Can you imagine all the details that are still to come that I can't get to in this hour, because we can't just focus on one thing all hour. We don't want people to get bored. But this document, this Inspector General report, will be available on our website, www.jlebang.com. I urge you to go there and spend time reading this, because this is going to show you how corrupt the FBI is, how corrupt the Justice Department is, and how we need to clean out the corruption if we're ever going to have integrity in our bureaus, in our government agencies again. Remember, the FBI, if they're covering this kind of stuff up, what else could they be covering up? All the investigations that they've been involved with, all the investigations behind these shooters that they have had connections with or they've had talks with beforehand, before they go on their rampages. What did they know, and when did they know it? And why didn't they do something about those? Just like, why didn't they do something more drastic about Hillary Clinton? What, they didn't want Trump to be in office? And if they take out Hillary Clinton and put her in jail, then Trump would have been president. Can you imagine? That is the scenario we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen. The scenario of the FBI hiding information because they didn't want Trump in office of a criminal named Hillary Clinton. We've got to take our third and final timeout, ladies and gentlemen. When we get back, the 50 worst cities to live in the United States. You won't believe it. Stay tuned. Smoke them if you got them.
Because the John Lebang Show will be right back
After this. That's guaranteed. Yes. Pane in the Glass, commercial and residential window cleaning for a beautiful sparkling shine that's crystal clear. Call Pane in the Glass Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane in the Glass. Quality One Painting. For interior and exterior painting needs, call Tom at Quality One, 313-982-2986. Tom will give you free estimates, senior discounts, and I can tell you from meeting the gentleman, he's one of the nicest guys on the face of the planet. So for a quality paint job with a professional attitude, call Tom at Quality One Painting. That's 313-982-2986. 313-982-2986. Quality One Painting. You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
Join the radio revolution right here.
It's better than some good Thai stick, man. Yes, I would like some too. Welcome to Mohammed's Pizza and Terror Shop. How may I help you? Oh man, I want to get something to eat, man. Okay, what would you like to order, sir? I'm going to get a pizza with some pepperoni on it, man. I'm sorry, sir. We do not have pepperoni. What you mean we ain't got no pepperoni, man? This is a pizza place, ain't it? This is a pizza place, but we do not carry any pork products. Ain't got no bacon, man? Nope, no bacon either. What about sausage, man? No, dude, we don't have any sausage either. Well, what kind of toppings you got, man? Oh, we have many, many toppings. You could have halal meat. The hell is that? That sounds like a disease, man. Oh, no, it is very good. And what do you call it, man? Halal meat? Halal who, man? Oh, it is very, very good. Listen here, man. I can't eat something I can't pronounce, man. You got any suggestions, man? Because I'm hungry. Well, you could have the chicken shawarma pizza. Chicken who? The chicken shawarma pizza. What the hell is a shawarma? Man, that sounds like something that come out of you, man. Are you sure that's food? Oh, it is a very tasty meal. We make chicken and we put the seasoning on it. It is very good. Do I have to call the health department on you? Oh, no, this is food. It is very, very good. No, man, I don't want that. Well, you could put on lots of veggies. No, do I look like a vegan, man? Look at me, man. Do I look like one, man? What is a vegan? Man, them those skinny people that look like they're dying, man. Do I look like I'm skinny and dying, man? No, sir. You do not look skinny. What are you saying? I'm looking fat, man? No, sir. I did not say that either. Well, you better know, man, because this is a condition, man. Whoa, I am very sorry about that. Do you have any fish in here? Oh, we could put sardines on the pizza. No, man, you ever tasted sardine? You give them to the people on the street so they ain't got nothing to eat, man. You see I'll be eating? There's lots of me here. You got any kind of fish, man? I smell tuna around here, man. No, we don't have tuna, sir. Now take a whiff. I know I can smell tuna, man. Oh, you know, it does smell like tuna in here. Well, put some tuna on it, man. But, sir, we don't have tuna here. Now, I can smell tuna, man. It's all over. Take a deep whiff, man. Put some tuna on that pizza, man. But I'm sorry, sir. We do not have tuna. Man, look it. It's coming from that chick over there. Maybe she knows. Who? That chick with the mask on and everything, man. You know, what do they call that, a puka? Oh, the burqa. Man, I can smell tuna coming from her, man. She got it all over her. She must have been making a tuna sandwich or something, man. I don't know. I will ask her. Excuse me, miss. You got tuna? But, sir, we do not have tuna. Oh, man, forget it. I'm out of here. I'll never come back here. This place is crazy. There ain't no pig in here. I'm going to Timmy Ho's. Thank you for coming, sir. Goodbye. You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's what's cool on radio.
Let's see if one of your cities, if the city you live in, is listed as USA Today's least livable top 50 worst cities to reside in. I was not surprised one bit, ladies and gentlemen, by this report by USA Today. In fact, when we got to some of the ones higher in the top 10 list there, I laughed because I could have guessed them. Without any trouble, I could have guessed them. So, at number 50 is Fort Smith, Arkansas. 49 is Salt Lake City. That surprised me a little bit. I didn't know Salt Lake was that bad. I'd only been through there one time, and I really didn't spend any time there. So I just thought it was a weird, different place. So down in Utah, it's a little bit of different as far as the people are than they are here in the Midwest. Number 48 is Gainesville, Florida. 47, Atlanta. Atlanta makes the top 50 list. Number 46 is Tacoma, Washington. I've been there. It's a little bit of a rundown city. To me, it wasn't anywhere near some of the places I'd been through, and we're going to get to those places. Boy, are we going to get to those places. Albuquerque, New Mexico is at 46th. Jackson, Mississippi at 44. Syracuse, New York, 43. At 42, we got Miami, Florida. 41, we got North Charleston, South Carolina. At number 40, South Bend, Indiana. New Haven, Connecticut at number 39. Probably because it's freaking cold there sometimes. 38 is Tallahassee, Florida. Second Florida nominee right here, and they're at number 38. Kalamazoo, Michigan at number 37. Michigan in itself is kind of a rundown state, so you're going to get cities like Kalamazoo that can't keep up with some of the better cities in the country. Number 36 is Knoxville, Tennessee. 35, Toledo, Ohio. Toledo, Ohio makes 35, and I've been through that city, and there's some pretty rundown areas. It's amazing that they are this low on the top 50 list. You'd think they would be closer to the top, and that means there's probably some way worse cities than Toledo. Buffalo, New York at 34. Canton, Ohio, another Ohio. That's 2 in Ohio. New York's made it a couple times too. You see, it's starting to pile up here, folks, for some states. Fresno, California is the first entry from California at 32. At 31 is Tucson, Arizona. 30 is Trenton, New Jersey. Dayton, Ohio, another Ohio. It's not looking good for those Ohio residents. Let's keep going. At number 28, you got Springfield, Massachusetts. 27, Oakland, California. That's where the Raiders used to be. Are the Raiders still there? I don't know. I just remember when you would watch a football game in Oakland, that crowd was pretty rough and tough. Merced, California is next on the list at 26. 25, Miami Beach, Florida. 24, Stockton, California. 23, Dayton Beach, Florida. Number 22 is Charlestown, West Virginia. Shiverport, Louisiana makes 21. Compton, California makes 20. Yes, Compton's a rough and tough city, and it makes the top 20. Little Rock, Arkansas. I would have never thought that would be in the top 20. I don't know much about Arkansas. It's one of those few states I have not traveled to. Gary, Indiana. And that I thought would be a lot higher because Gary is the stinkiest town that I've ever been in. Number 17, Pueblo, Colorado. Isn't that where there used to be a little place you would write to in Pueblo, Colorado. I forgot what the business was. You can write to Pueblo, Colorado. I remember that as a kid. That was many, many moons ago, and I'm probably dating myself. Number 16, Rockford, Illinois. Number 15, Youngstown, Ohio, and Ohio is starting to rack up a whole bunch of them. Number 14, San Bernardino, California. Florence Graham, California is next at 13. Number 12, Homestead, Florida. Number 11, Hartford, Connecticut, where the Whalers used to reside. Number 10, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. At number 9, Baltimore, Maryland. Oh, that's right. We remember all the pictures of the hoodlums out there burning down their own city because, hey, their city is so great that they want to burn down even more of it. Number 8, Springfield, Missouri. That's interesting. Again, I've never been to St. Louis, Missouri, or Springfield. I've never been to Missouri. Maybe I don't want to go now. Number 7, Albany, Georgia. Their first installment is way up at number 7. Number 6, Wilmington, Delaware. Cleveland, Ohio is at number 5. You people in Ohio might need to start talking to your government and start cleaning things up if you're making, 5 or 6 cities on the top 50 worst cities to reside in. Not helping your property value if you're making this kind of list. Number 4, Memphis, Tennessee. Number 3 is St. Louis, Missouri. Not a good place to live. And number 2, we get into it, folks. This is my beautiful state. One of the most corrupt states in the entire nation. Number 2, Flint, Michigan. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Flint, Michigan, who has had the Democrat Party running that city for, 50, 60, 70 years. They have water issues where they poisoned everybody, where they screwed up. They made a bad deal with the city That is number 1 on the list. So you have a corrupt city in Flint making a deal with the number 1 city. And what is it? Drum roll, please. The number 1 worst city, according to USA Today in the United States, is Detroit, Michigan. The poster child of American post-industrial urban decline, Detroit, Michigan ranks as the worst city in the country to live in. Once home to 1.8 million residents, now has about 700,000 people. Most of them are living in poverty. Poverty beyond belief, people burning down houses, crime is up the roof, people killing each other. They talk about how the downtown is expanding and money's going into the downtown. And sure, it's looking beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking beautiful downtown. The problem is, downtown is this little center, little dinky little part of Detroit. And there are square miles, tens of square miles all the way around Detroit that are burnt down, wrecked, abandoned, destroyed, barely in service. It is a disgrace to see what has happened to this town. And of course, it has been run by the Democrat Party for another 50 years. They're the reason that Flint had their water crisis because Detroit cut them off from water early before Flint had their deal in place and their stuff in place with their new water supplier. So then they had to use the poison Flint River, and then they had to overtreat that river, which then translated into destroyed plumbing and pipes and lead in the pipes and kids drinking it and people getting Legionnaire's disease. Oh, what a fabulous state Michigan is. It's awesome. And we hear all this Detroit pride here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what they're proud of. They're proud of being the worst city in the nation. I mean, and the second worst city's Flint. I've been to both. They're just wrecks. Both cities are complete wrecks. There's not enough money that could come into these cities to rejuvenate them for any sustained period. They're going to get their little buildups, and then people are still not going to go there in great numbers until they bring in something cool. And sports teams are cool, but not enough to drive people into the city. And to get to the city, you got to drive through the ghetto in any direction you're coming from. It's not like you can just bypass the devastation of a decayed city. And the Detroit airport barely functions, so they have to use Metro Airport, which means if you're driving into the city from there, you're going through all the ghetto. And you can't get there anyways because all the money that's being dumped into construction. And I wish I could get into that because they're building a sidewalk in a nowhere land road, not but 2 miles from here. There's nothing around there but industrial complex. Nobody walks these roads at all. 0 people are walking these roads, and they're spending money on a freaking sidewalk that'll never be used when we have decaying roads all throughout the county, all throughout the state that could use some of that freaking money to be put into them. We're up against it, folks. We're at the end of another hour. The John Lebang Show, and we didn't even get into half the other subjects. Stay tuned for hour number 2 because we have Mike Peter from IRN Radio in Tampa, Florida, joining us for an hour-long discussion that you're sure to enjoy. Thank you to all my affiliate stations carrying the John Lebang Show. Don't forget to go to that website. That's www.jlebang.com. Thank you, my listener, because, man, I don't know what I would do without you. You guys continually tune in. The numbers are in the tens of thousands when you add up all the stations that are carrying the John Lebang Show, whether it's in the United States, in the Netherlands, in England, Germany, the United Kingdom. Thank you all for listening. And until the vibrations of my vocal cords reach your ears again. This is John Lebang,
7, 6,
signing off
5,
from the Banger Studios.
1. We have liftoff. Tune in again next week. Same time, same space, same station.
Resistance